up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Now this is the third film in the Ant-Man film series, and this is also the 31st film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now this again is directed by Peyton Reed, and it stars Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, Ant-Man, and you also have Evangeline Lilly as a Hope Van Dyke, the Wasp, and so on. Michael Douglas returns in the film. Even Michelle Pfeiffer returns in the film too as well. Now the film itself is introducing like this new villain known as Kang the Conqueror, and I must admit I wasn't really too familiar with that particular villain in the Marvel universe, but it is interesting and cool getting like a look at how he looks too as well. Now he's played by Jonathan Majors, and then you also have Bill Murray, who shows up in the film too as well. And there's like a bunch of different characters and so on that are going in the film, but in the film itself it is dealing with the idea that Scott and Hope are being transported to this place known as the Quantum Realm, and this is where they actually confront Kang the Conqueror, or it turns out that they have to stop Kang the Conqueror. Now I must admit, the film, it just never really took off for me. Now, it was moments where it was kind of like entertaining. It's like very human, especially like Paul Rudd as like Ant-Man, or like Scott Lang. I thought he did have like a lot of like funny moments. Like he has like a lot of like humor. So I thought like moments with him were kind of like funny and like cool. But other than that, the film itself just never really did take off. And there are certain moments in the film, like with Michelle Pfeiffer's character, like when she actually meets Kang the Conqueror. She has like this like backstory with Kang the Conqueror, and I thought that part of it was very interesting. You could see how she met him, and this was like during her time of being trapped in the quantum realm, because her character is known as Janet Van Dyne. So when she's like trapped in the quantum realm, she meets Kang the Conqueror, where she meets this guy, who turns out to be Kang the Conqueror. I thought that kind of moment right there was kind of cool and interesting, because we could see what was going on with them and so. And it's like they kind of had like a relationship, and they both were stuck in the quantum realm. But then it turns out that I don't want to spoil the film, but this is kind of like spoiler alert. Kang the Conqueror himself, who was played by Jonathan Majors, he was actually out like conquering like different like worlds and different like multiverses and all that kind of stuff too. So it turns out that's what he was really trying to do. But he ended up being like exiled to the quantum realm, and I forgot who they said exiled him there, but he was actually exiled there. So he turns out that he's like a time traveling multiversal character who is out conquering like various different like universes and like worlds. So he's even destroyed different various worlds and so on and everything like that, because she does explain that to like some of the characters throughout in the film. But in I thought just like I said, that's probably one of the ones I thought kind of stood out to me. And I think Jonathan Majors, I thought he was pretty cool as Kang the Conqueror, and I do think that Michelle Pfeiffer was pretty good in her role too as well. Like I said, Michael Douglas, he returns as Hank Pym too as well. So he's kind of similar to how he was like in the first two films. But I do still believe this is like the weaker of the three films of the Ant-Man films. And like I said, it's like very like weird, and it's like very far-fetched. And I know like the first two were kind of like that too, but this one was like just way out there. It's like very far-fetched. So in the end, and there are other people, like other characters I want to touch on, but I just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil it from here. Yeah, there are like some like Easter eggs and so on, like within like the credits. If you've watched the whole entire film, there are things, that's like giving like hints of what they're gonna be doing the other upcoming like Marvel like cinematic films. But in the end, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, I thought it was just okay. Like I said, it just never really took off, so I'm just gonna give this like a C. And I guess I'll just recommend for fans of like the Ant-Man films. I do think the previous two films were like better than this, but I would still be just giving this a C. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.